Now, isn't this my best NewFrameDay ever, I think? From the first video, there was a few questions around geometry and stuff like that, so I thought we would go over the whole frame again when I have the builder next to me. So I thought we would start with the materials, and just a little recap. There's some titanium 3D printed involved. And I know I got one comment worried about 3D prints and it would just break all of a sudden. But it's not like you just started 3D printing on your own home printer, really.
No, definitely. So there is a company, so we use and they have many years of experience already, and the technology compared to a couple of years ago, it's a huge improvement. And so inside even the part, there is a kind of reinforcing mesh called lattice, so it doesn't add up too much of a weight. Maybe like for the seat lock, it's literally a few grams, like less than 10 grams, but it's kind of reinforced all the walls, so it's have a structure inside, so it's even under the stress for the part, it's really difficult to break or to have a crack, so it's not completely hollow, so it's...
So, this, like you said, the seat lug, the dropouts...
And a topper.
Seat topper are the 3D printed parts.
Yeah.
The head tube is also like a custom spec, but it's...
Yeah, but not specifically by us, but for us.
Then we have the tubes, down tube and top tube was...
Made by Reynolds.
Oh, Reynolds.
It's double-bodied, so yeah, we went for the maximum possible large down tube.
And the top tube is like oval.
Yeah, oval, so the concept behind that as well, so you make it oval, so it's really nice on the top of the head tube.
Yeah.
So it doesn't look really like tiny, so it's... For us, it's important, so the tubes kind of flow into each other, so it's not that like harsh contrast or something. That's why, so I really like to put the top tube like as high as possible, so it gives that kind of nice racy bike look. And the flat shape of the top tube, it helps with the shock absorption as well, so that's why the frame can flex vertically more than it would have a round tube on the top,
And the rear triangle is that the Japanese stuff?
Yeah, the chainstays are Japanese kind of round tube again was shaped into the oval. And the seat stays, I think it's from US, so 12.7 millimeter ones, so it's kind of outbalanced the stiffness of the down and tube and the seat stays.
Then we have a carbon integrated seat post. And yeah, so just to explain, I didn't pick the carbon seat post just for the weight. It was mainly for the look, to be totally honest with you. I just love the look of the black or dark gray carbon and black fork as well. But I guess in like if you have a separate seat post, you can go for the absolute craziest lightest seat post. So in all, the complete package might be a few grams lighter if you say have a Darimo seat post.
Yeah, probably. Yeah. But with just a normal carbon seat post, probably there won't be any savings at all.
Yeah. And this little nice details, which I absolutely adore, is this brace.
Yeah, it's for the rail clamp, so to reinforce the carbon tube anyway, you need one, because when you put a pressure, so sometimes the carbon can break and it's like shifting, like the electronic shifting is very strong, so it's kind of puts some stress on the seat tube, so to reinforce, so I made it like one-piece clamp, which is...
Both for the roller clamp and for the bottle mounts.
Yeah, bottle mount, so because if you put just only rivets in carbon, so there is, again, it can be put as stress on the carbon, but now it's like it's everything in one piece, like really secures
the carbon tube is like just one size. It's not like made to be extra strong down here.
Yeah.
And it looks awesome. Kind of matches the stripes here, although I might have to cover that up with a derelict clamp, unfortunately. But yeah. So moving on to geometry, I came to you with very flimsy ideas. I basically said I want a road bike that I can ride all day long, basically, for long rides. So if you want to call it something, I guess you will call it endurance geometry, if you want to call it something. But for fit-wise, it's like, it's my fit. So it doesn't really matter actually what my measurements are. That's like one thing where my contact points are. But to make it that endurance or long all-day rides, then like stuff like seat stay length, bottom bracket drop, and trail figures, that's more important than my actual saddle height, I think. To put some numbers to that, I will probably put up some geometry charts for those who really want to geek out. But seat stays on this one is 415 millimeters.
Right.
And to contrast that, my Emonda is 411, I think. And the seat stays now are the exact same length as the Echo when it's in road mode. I did not want to make the seat stays too short because there's one possibility that eventually we go one by on this. And I don't want the super tight chain line. And I have that experience when I have one by on my Emonda with the shorter chain stays. It can get a bit noisy on the big, low, small cogs. So having a little less aggressive chain line will help with that. Bottom bracket drop is, what do we say?
75.
75, yeah.
And a Monda?
The Emonda is much higher. I know that.
Yeah, that's make the bike a bit twitchier. The lower bottom bracket, the bike feels more fluid with your movements. So you it's really kind of easier to flip, and when you're dancing and especially cornering descents, it's like huge improvement.
I remember in the beginning I saw like, I want a lower bottom bracket than the Emonda, but I don't want it super low because I had an incident. If I have the Echo in full road mode, front and back, it's actually 77.5.
Oh.
And I had 28 millimeter tires on, and I was hammering down a descent, and I have a tendency to like to push on out to the corners, and I'm a pedal strike, like the first time in many years. I was like, holy crap. And I realized that, I don't want to go super low for the sake of just going low. So 75, it's kind of like the Echo in gravel mode almost. I think it's 75 as well. So I'm very comfortable with that. That's usually how I run the Echo, like gravel in the front and road in the back, and then I get a 75 as well. So it's that spot on the kind of feeling I want in the bike, and especially for those long rides, have it a bit more stable and not too twitchy. So as for the trail number, it's designed now for like 60 millimeter on 28s to have the more stable stuff for all my all-day rides. And that is with this number 6 fork with a 45 millimeter offset, right? This fork does come in a 50 millimeter offset as well. And we thought, why not try both? And with a 50 millimeter fork, it will be a trail of, what did we say, 55?
55, yeah.
So a bit quicker in terms of the handling. Of course, the total wheelbase will go up by 5 millimeters as well. So we thought it would be a nice experiment to do and try both forks and basically see if I can even tell the difference, or how much the difference, or does it even make sense? I don't know. I only seen all the numbers and charts online as well, as most people. So why not try something interesting? So next video, we'll cover that. And the tire clearance, we have about 32 in the back, right?
Yeah, even maybe 38 slicks would fit. I just put a couple dimples, but if it's not necessary, I rather don't touch it. Yeah. But pretty safe, 32. Yeah.
And this fork, I think I looked at this, it could almost take 38, right?
Yeah, exactly.
As you might seen in the video about the wheels, it will be 28s to start with at least, and then we'll see what happens. But I probably will never go anything bigger than 32, that's for sure. we need to address the elephant in the room, the frame finishing. It's, I think I've been a very annoying customer because every time I got an idea into my mind, I just send him a message, what about this, what about this, what about this? And the original idea was actually keep it super simple, raw with like a brushed logo, that's it. But I love to have some kind of color, and then we started talking about Cerakote, which you can accommodate. You don't do that yourself, no. Don't you? Yeah. That will of course add to the cost, but then again, it would be kind of hiding all the metal-y, the titanium bits, and in the end, this is what we came up with. Yeah, I love the contrast between the brushed and the sandblasted. Is it sand?
It's a glass bead. So it's like really tiny glass kind of balls. By the look, it looks like a sun, but it's glass. And it gives a little bit kind of lighter tone to the blasted area. So if you do with the sun, it's gonna probably a little bit darker gray.
Yeah, absolutely love how that. And you do this in-house as well, right?
Yeah.
It's pretty damn nice. And then we went with the super polished logos.
Yeah, so I like to buff it up a little bit before anodizing, so it's kind of stays nice and bright for longer. So.
And we talked about anodized colors as well. In the beginning, I think I was going all purple, and then I saw some other bikes he made with the fade, and I said I didn't want the full fade, like the full rainbow. I didn't think that was quite my style, but I kind of like this. The idea of this gold to purple anodize, and yeah, it really looks amazing, I have to say. Head badge as well, same kind of pattern. And of course, this dorky ass Slayer of Grams logo on the top tube. And I kind of like the irony of having a Slayer of Grams mantra on a titanium bike with disc brakes. That's definitely not the materials you would choose if you really wanted to make a super light bike. But I like that I will definitely trigger some people that take cycling way too seriously out there. But it's fun. It's my personal touch that probably not many other people will have on their bike. Then that's kind of the whole point with going full custom. You can get all this kind of stuff. And even more amazing that all this is made in-house. Like this type of, you can do even if you do the normal sandblasting, you do that as well. The glass blasting, the anodizing, polishing. Oof. Oh, and not forget the custom spacer to make the Data DCR headset fit exactly to the smokeless stem. I mean, this spacer looks like it came like a part of this headset.
The credit goes to Takashi-san. He's the mad scientist.
So the bottom part of the 3D print goes into the locking holes in the top cap, and there's another pin that goes into the stem part. So it kind of locks in place. It doesn't, I can't twist it around or anything. It's awesome, yeah. Super stoked. And we have the nice details on the rear of the seat topper.
Stainless plate, with laser cut logo.
Nice. And on this part as well.
Yeah, same. E1. E1, but like heavily customized.
Yeah, E1 ROJ edition. Yeah, I like it. All right, so next video is gonna build this up and take it for a spin and talk more about it then. Until next time, peace.